Hello everyone, I am Himaja and welcome to my presentation. This presentation describes MUL, an open source tool for mutation testing based on LLVM framework. This presentation is organized as follows. First, we learn what is mutation testing and MUL. Then we go deeper and describe what is considered the most interesting implementation details of MUL. Next, we'll learn how mutation operators are currently implemented in MUL and how the tool is evaluated based on few open source projects. Finally, I'll highlight the limitations of MUL and the future work. Let's get started. What is mutation testing? Mutation testing, although we have learned it in the lectures, I will give you a brief description. The mutation testing is nothing but a fault-based software testing technique which serves as a way to evaluate and improve quality of software tests. A tool for mutation testing creates many slightly modified versions of original program and then runs a test suite against each version, which is called mutant. A mutant is said to be killed if the test suite detects a change to the program introduced by this mutant. That is, at least one of the tests starts to fail or survived otherwise. Each mutation of original program is created based on one of the predefined rules for program modification called mutation operators. Each mutant is represented by a mutation point, which is a combination of mutation operator and location of a mutation in the program's source code. In order to assess the quality of test suite, mutation testing uses a metric called as mutation score or mutation coverage. Now let's see what is MUL. MUL is a command line tool. MUL's project is an attempt to build a general purpose mutation testing tool targeting compiled languages. MUL is built on top of LLVM compiler framework. It uses LLVM IR or bitcode in order to perform mutations and LLVM JIT engine in order to execute original and mutated programs. The MUL's primary focus is on C and C++. Here, the configuration file is given as an input to the MUL, which consists of list of tested programs bitcode files, a set of mutation operators and a test framework, and we get SQLite database as output, which consists of information gathered during the run such as tests, mutation points, mutants, etc. Now let's see the criteria which is considered to be important for a practical implementation of any mutation testing tool. Today we are discussing about MUL, but if you go to Google and search, there is another mutation testing tool called as MART. Now let's see about the basic criteria. First, the tool must be fast, configurable and easy to set up and use. The tool should be ready to use in real world production and open source projects. Last, the tool should implement a reasonable number of basic mutation operators in order to enable the practical use of it in different domains such as systems programming, application programming, algorithms, and mathematical computations. Let's see what is the algorithm written in order to implement this tool. This consists of 8 steps, and step 1 goes like this. The tool loads the bit code into the memory. Next, the tool inserts instrumentation code into each function. This code is used to collect code coverage information. This approach is described in the implementation part. Next, MUL compiles instrumented bit code to machine code and prepares the machine code for execution by JIT engine. JIT is nothing but just in time compilation. Next, in the LLVM IR code, MUL finds the tests according to a test framework specified in the configuration file. In the next step, this tool runs each test using LLVM JIT engine and collects code coverage information. And MUL finds mutations in the LLVM IR code based on a code coverage information collected for each test. A set of mutation points is created. For each mutation point, MUL creates a mutant and runs each test then and kills the mutant. For each mutant, only part of the bit code is recompiled into machine code. Next, all the information collected during the session is written into SQL database. This is the final step and MUL finish the execution at this point. Now let's see how the tool is implemented. Firstly, the instrumentation and dynamic call tree. What are these called? A program has many mutations, but not all of them are reachable by the program's test. This fact is used to reduce the number of tests. In order to know which mutations are reachable, we thus need to know which code is reachable from a test. To achieve this, we insert instrumentation into each function and run a test to code coverage information. From this information, a dynamic call tree is constructed. Next, JIT and runtime compilation. To run a tested program, MUL needs to compile the bitcode files into object files containing machine code and link them together into executable as any compiler would do. This approach has a great advantage. Compilation and linking happen in memory, thus there is no IO overhead. When it comes to mutation, MUL performs it on a copy of a single bitcode file, recompiles it and links together with already compiled object files. Next, coming to sandboxing. Mutations can make the code behave in unexpected ways, that is, to crash, to timeout, or exit prematurely. We use a parent or child process isolation to achieve a proper sandboxing of a tested program. This tool, which is a parent process, runs each test in a separate child process. Coming to dry run, it is not known in how many mutations a project has and how much time does it take for this tool to run it. In order to remove the uncertainty, dry run mode is introduced. In this mode, MUL collects information about mutations but does not run tests against them. Therefore, no partial recompilation and no sandboxing are needed. Coming to the test framework, which is given as an input to the MUL tool. This tool can work with any test framework. The only requirement is that MUL can run a single test independently from the other tests in a test suite. Each test framework plugin consists of two components, Test Finder and Test Runner. Test Finder takes all bitcode files as an input and gives back a list of test functions. Test Runner runs one test and returns the result of its execution. Finally, caching. MUL uses JIT and runtime compilation for better performance. However, sometimes it is faster to read the object file from disk than to compile it in memory from LLVM bitcode. In this regard, MUL supports on-disk cache. Before compiling a bitcode file, MUL attempts to get an object file from the disk. If there is none, MUL compiles the bitcode file and saves resulting object file on disk for later usage. When MUL runs next time, it can use an object file from the previous session. Now let's see what are the mutation operators. MUL performs mutations on LLVM IR code, so its implementation of mutation operators is largely determined by specification of LLVM language. These are the mutation operators which are currently supported by MUL. First is math operator. Math add replaces an add instruction which returns sum of its two operands with a sub instruction which results difference of the two operands. Math sub operator performs the same kind of mutation as math add but in opposite direction. Same as the case with math mul and div. Next, coming to the negate condition. Negate condition modifies the code to achieve a complete negation of condition from equal to not equal, from sign less to sign greater than or equal. Next, coming to remove void function. This operator removes a call to a void function from LLVM IR code. The void function calls can be represented by two functions. Next, coming to remove void function. This operator removes a call to a void function from LLVM IR code. The void function calls can be represented by two instructions in LLVM IR, that is call and invoke. Coming to the replace call, this operator replaces a function call whose return value is an integer or floating point scalar value. Last, scalar value replacement. This operator replaces an integer or floating point scalar value with a predetermined value, like a non-zero value is replaced with 0, a 0 value is replaced with 1. Now let's see how the tool is evaluated on few open source projects. In this section, I will explain how MUL is applied in real world projects like Rhodos, OpenSSL and LLVM. Let's look at table 1. The table 1 describes some properties of these projects. For each project, we measure how many tests a test suite has, how many mutants MUL detects, the total amount of test runs executed during analysis, and total execution time for both cold and hot runs. First is Rhodos. Rhodos is a real-time operating system developed by German Aerospace Center. It is written in C and C++ and uses CPP unit test framework for its test suite. It can be run on Linux and other POSIX compliant operating systems. Rhodos has many small test suites, each of them covering very specific part of the system. Each test suite is designed to run only single test per compilation. Once the test suite is compiled, it can run either all tests or the one specified via command line arguments. Rhodos uses make files to build and run its test suites. We have to change compiler flags to emit LLVM bitcode. Here, 5 test suites are picked based on the amount of tests in each of them. Table 2 contains the results. Coming to the second tool or second project, which is OpenSSL. This project is written in C. It uses custom test framework for its tests. OpenSSL has a mix of unit and integration tests. We have to look at each test suite to identify if it is a unit test suite or integration test suite. Test suite with unit tests are simple programs that are compiled into executable. Each test suite can run all tests at once. We have to change them to run one test based on command line arguments. Obtaining LLVM bitcode is trivial. To compile OpenSSL, one has to invoke configure script to prepare build system. Here we invoke configure script by passing FLTO to enable LTO, which produces bitcode files instead of object files as built artifacts. Then we compile the test suites of interest and construct separate configuration files for each of them. The results are shown in this table. Next, coming to LLVM. LLVM is written in C++. It uses Google Test as test framework. It has several unit tests of various sizes targeting subsystems of LLVM. For this experiment, we use ADT tests, a test suite that covers specific abstract data types used in LLVM, such as arrays, maps, integers, etc. Additionally, in this test suite, we focus only on normal tests and exclude tests which are based on type tests. This table shows the results for different configurations. Here we use 3 groups of tests of different sizes and different mutation distance for each of them in order to show the applicability of MUL even for big projects. Now let's look at what are the limitations of this tool. First, junk mutations. A mutation can exist in a bit code but cannot be achieved by changing original source code. Such mutation is called junk mutation. Next, coming to stray mutation, another issue is C and C++ code from their standard libraries. Compiler inlines code from macros and templates into resulting bit code. Mul finds mutation in this code as well, but they are not relevant to the tested program. There are two more limitations where Mul uses LLVM JIT, from which it gets its power as well as some of its limitations. LLVM JIT does not work with projects using thread local storage and does not support Objective-C runtime. Now let's look at some of the future work which can be done on this tool. There is a lot of work to be done to get Mul closer to its use in production. First, one direction of the work is further performance optimizations, that is, parallelization and even better control over recompilation of bit code. Integration with test existing IDEs is yet another important part of the work to make Mul practical for daily usage. Another direction of work is a further exploration of the real world projects that will drive the implementation of new test framework adapters like Cache for C++. There are other mutation testing tools like MART for compiled programming languages, and we assume that a proper comparison between Mul and these tools should be a topic for separate research. Finally, so far we did not encounter a single critical problem that would turn us away from uh, our decision to base Mul on LLVM with its intermediate language and infrastructure. Quite the opposite, Mul satisfies all the criteria that we consider important for an implementation of mutation testing tool. It has a great number of applications and large room for further improvement. Let's look forward to implementation of this tool in future. I would like to thank Professor Paula Spoletini and all my classmates for your great patience to listen to my presentation. Thank you.